Hi, Sunday school friends. It's Mrs. Russo. So we're going to play kind of a word game slash singing game slash service project game today. It's got a lot. It's got a lot of layers, like cakes or onions or ogres. This game is about how do we be Jesus to the world, right? If we're all have Jesus in us, and we're supposed to be treating other people like Jesus, how do we become Jesus for somebody else? Okay? There are tons and tons and tons of things that your grown-ups can Google about ways that families can get involved in the community. There's everything from cleaning up forests to doing Franklin County Children's Services through our church to give Christmas cards, Christmas gift cards for the kids who are in foster care. There's, donating your Halloween candy to the soldiers. There's tons and tons and tons, and you can all Google those. But I want to play a fun game today that is an old-time spiritual called In the Highways and the Hedges. Okay, so it's a song that we're going to start inserting other places where Jesus can be as you being Jesus in the world. Yeah, God's hands and feet and mouths and hearts and eyes and ears in the world, okay? So it starts like this. In the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, in the highways, in the hedges, I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working, I'll be somewhere a-working for my Lord. That's the first verse and the chorus. Now, when we sing, I'll be somewhere a-working, I want you to try a gallop clap. It goes clap, slap, slap. Clap, slap, slap. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. Doesn't that sound cool? Okay, verse 2 is, if he calls me, I will answer. If he calls me, I will answer. If he calls me, I will answer. I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. Ready? I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. So, besides highways and hedges, which at this time when it was written, I'm not sure what people would be doing in the highways and the hedges, but I can imagine people might be cleaning up the highways from trash, because that's what we need done right now. Now, normally they have teams of people that do that, so please do not start going out on the highways. But you can go in the forest and clean up trash, or around the pond by your house in your neighborhood and clean up trash safely with your grown-up, okay? That would also be in the hedges, although there might have been other work at that time that people had to do in the hedges. I am not going to pretend to be a historian about this particular song. But let's think about other places that we can be now. How about, just like in our Bible verse for this week, we could be in the prisons, right? It says to pray for the ragged and the weak and imprisoned, right? That's what it means, people in the prisons. So we could be in the prisons. We could be at the food pantry. Yeah? Now, normally, they don't just let anybody into the prisons. But we have a team of people who do go into the prisons, who are specially trained to help people who are in prison know about God's love for them. And we can help support them not only through donations of money, but also things that they ask for. Sometimes they ask for cookies. Sometimes they ask for placemats. Sometimes they ask for Christmas cards. You have to listen, right? You have to be God's ears. If you hear something that you can do, see a need, fill a need. We could be at the food pantry. Not anybody can just walk into a food pantry. But when you hear somebody say, the food pantry needs pancake syrup, The food pantry needs peanut butter. You can use some of maybe your allowance, or maybe you can do some extra chores around the house to get some money to go buy a jar of peanut butter and bring it to church in the wagon. And somebody will make sure that it gets to the food pantry. So let's do in the food pantry and the prisons. I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. Ready? Verse 3. In the food pantry and the prisons, in the food pantry and the prisons, in the food pantry and the prisons, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. You might have already come up with another one. But since I can't hear you, I'm going to come up with 4 more so we can do 2 more verses. No, I'm sorry, 2 more. I did show some discretion and only do 2 more verses. Okay, 1 more verse is the shelters. So sometimes we collect little toiletries for the shelters. We haven't done that in a while because that shelter doesn't need our help anymore. But we can make Christmas cards. That's the new thing that we've been asked to make is Christmas cards for the shelters. We could also be in the kitchens cooking for friends of the homeless. So when they ask for desserts or for fresh fruit, you could also supply that for them. So here we go. Shelters and kitchens. In the shelters and the kitchens, in the shelters and the kitchens, in the shelters and the kitchens, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. Here we go. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working, I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. If he calls me, I will answer. If he calls me, I will answer. If he calls me, I will answer. I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. See a need and fill a need. You guys are awesome. See you next time.